Hello. So our group decided to do a poem called Hard Questions by Margaret Suda. So the poem is the main theme is about the end of the world, and basically, it is giving the options and ways that might happen if the human activities will keep on going and damaging the environment. And for example, this sentence, like, what if a child shall cry, I have never known spring, I have never seen autumn. And the author also uses like exclamation marks, so which means that he's pretty emotional about it. He gives lots of examples and his own personal connections and his references, like what if, yeah. And yeah.
So it's obviously not a rhyme poem.
No, it's not. I think mostly, like, the form and the sound of this poem is like questions, and again questions.
Yeah.
Like, did you notice that almost in all of the little sentences, they have like questions. Yeah.
Yeah, like this this last two
Yeah. Read them.
what do I call this, like this whole chunk?
School chunk.
last two chunks. Yeah, they both end with question marks, so yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely questions.
So, he like the key keywords here. I think it's why not? Like, why not put mark out on the land into rectangles and squares? I think they mean that, like, they want to build houses and everything is organized. They have lots of, like, buildings, dwellings. They use this word, and like complexes, groups of buildings, and like and then just tied together, all together, build them together with bands of roads, and it's gonna be like so squishy. And here's the man, he's talking that he never heard like silence, like, like when you're in the forest, you hear, like, insects like tick tick and all the kind of
I don't. I hear like birds.
yeah. And you see, here's like, what if the birds will you see, what if the eye shall never see marsh birds and muskrats? I don't know what muskrats are. Anyways, yeah. And let's analyze it now. So, Kevin, what is your inference about this poem? What is author is trying to represent and show others?
Oh, okay. I don't really get this poem, so.
Really?
I think, as you said, the author's trying to say that people are like developing our cities and trying to organize everything in. So the author just said, why not mark out the land into neat rectangle squares and clover leaves? So he was trying to say we don't have to do this. It's like there's no point doing this.
Yeah, I know. Like,
And our earth is being like sort of destroyed, and she asked three what ifs. Like, what if a child cried, I've never known spring or autumn, and a man say, never heard silence, and what if we never see marsh birds, and yeah.
and like the heart needs wildness. Like, if we can even make a connection to Lorax. Remember when we watched it? Like, I think there weren't any seasons in there. Like, they had all these artificial seasons. Did you see the end in the song? Like, they had like a beach close to the skiing thingy. Like, was there? Yeah, it was so funny.
Everything is artificial, like the trees, the
And
flowers.
even the insects. Remember, like, it came like the beat came out of the flowers, like buzz. That was like, yeah.
It was like all like
Yeah, and that's
made out of
why.
metals.
Yeah, I think this is like the explanation why this child is sort of crying. Like, I've never known like real spring and real autumn, and feel the wildness, and maybe the population of animals is decreasing. Oh, did you notice, by the way, like in that city, they didn't even have like lots of dogs and cats and
Yeah.
and
Some of them are not allowed to walk them around.
yeah, because it makes dirt or something.
Yeah.
I think they're sort of addicted to the like being sort of clear and organized, and even remember when they talked about the trees and that the leaves they fall wherever they want to, and you have to clean after them. Yeah. Anyways, we're off topic now.
And it's named the title is Hard Questions because no one is. It's not easy for anyone to answer those questions because
Yeah.
they're so way too big and
Too general, right?
yes and people around the world now is trying to figure out why are we doing this and half of them are actually doing it.
Yeah. It's fine. Anyways, you see this pink sheet? They have some, I mean, like questions. Maybe they could help us. Do you know what kind of literary devices that they used? I think they use like a metaphor too, like does not the heart need wildness? Like the heart is not really real and it doesn't have a soul, but in this question they sort of represent the heart as a living thing that lives separately from humans. Like, does not the heart need wildness? Yeah. So I think they used lots of metaphor in here, and this was one of the examples. And
Did you pay attention to the vocabulary? Did you look for metaphors in
yeah, and like you see this word bosom, place of comfort and security. Does not the thought need something to rest upon, not self-made by humans? Oh, and like the last question is like really powerful. Like he's saying, why not like we can't even sort of like rest for a while. Like everything is artificial and it's all made by humans and man. And a bosom here's like a place of comfort and security, and it's not really his own. It wasn't like made naturally, right? Because like in ancient times, we used to live like in caves and we were in balance with nature and no problems. We were just like animals, but smart ones. Okay.
So the author is saying like we have to kind of go back to what we were before.
where we started?
Like not like old technologies and then buildings.
Yeah.
Like he says.
Maybe go back to the 20th
Yeah,
century.
like
Yeah.
where there was like lots of trees and we used to live in like
Yeah.
caves. No, that's not.
Maybe just like in the middle century we're not that developed, but
Yeah,
we
we
are
were
not.
like-
but we don't live in caves.
Yeah.
like-
This was good, right? Like we didn't really destroy the nature. We didn't have like factories, and there wasn't any air pollution. And
There's
And
no
ev-
like iPads.
Yeah,
or, like,
and everything
iPods.
is handmade, like your clothes and your
Yeah.
shoes. Everything's
Yeah.
handmade.
why now we don't live like this? I mean we could.
Yeah, so
right?
so like the author is saying, does not need the heart. Does the heart need wildness?
Yeah.
Because we are like all now, like all like so lazy.
I know, like I'm so addicted to my iPad. Like every time I go home, like what happened in Instagram, and check in, and then I'm like, oh god, I want to watch something, and then I go to the
Broke
computer,
my
and
iPod.
then
So sad.
Yes, and I heard that this reminds me of an article I was reading. It says just just after everything become artificial. Like um, the machine
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah.
And lots of people lost their jobs. They used to make clothes for people or shoes or something.
Yeah.
But suddenly everything was made by machine, and they no and the machines things are cheap and no one's buying their stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and that old man was starving it to death because like no one's buying his.
Oh,
Oh, God.
in the classroom, I saw these two pictures.
Uh-huh.
There's a one guy from the country,
Uh-huh.
and he wanted to go to like city, like really populated city,
Uh-huh.
and like live in the buildings. And so he moved, right.
Uh-huh.
And the next picture, like there's like everywhere it's like buildings, and he can see trees. So he wants to go to a country.
Oh,
Back
I
to
know.
country.
I'm
So, like,
tired now
First
too.
he wanted like technology, and then once he like really have it,
You want to go back?
I
yeah, you
think-
want to go to back to nature.
I know. I think humans, like, once they get something, I think they have to sacrifice something. And then when they did it, then they regret and want it back. And I think before acting, we should think about our actions and the consequences.
That's actually normal. People you really like and want the things they don't have.
Yeah, I know. And then once you get used to them, then you just sort of, I don't know, you lose your interest in that,
Yeah.
and start sort of spending time on
But
it.
is that way too far from the text?
Yeah. Anyways, and like, I asked myself questions like this, like just recently. I mean, every day I ask questions like that, like what's gonna happen in the future, and will all the humans be fed because they'll like use technology and
Are
they'll
we
just sit in one place. For example, like the cartoon Wall-E, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that one was like so funny. What do you want to say?
Are we going to die in 1 month?
Yeah, like Peter, he has like in his phone the calendar, and he marked it like at the end of the world, and he's like 23 days left before that.
I actually don't believe the end of his end of world thing.
Oh yeah.
I think
Because
so.
lots of people say like the world's gonna end in like June, like 666.
666,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah, June 6 on 2006, because that's Satan's number, 66.
Oh.
But I didn't
Evil
even know we
number.
passed that.
Yeah.
And then some people say the world's gonna end in like 11th of November. So it's 11, but we passed that. I didn't even know that. It's like,
Oh, I
yeah,
heard-
it's just like
Yeah.
other people making rumors so they can get like their websites, like lots of
yes.
visitors.
Famous.
And then-
Oh yeah, like in old times, I think that it wasn't much about the power and the money, but now everything's about it. I think, like even the jobs that people are working on, like it's not what they like. It's just they do it for the comfortable life and
Maybe
sustain-
make more money.
yeah.
Like,
Just yeah, and I think it's a bit selfish because they don't think about the nature.
Yeah.
And even they don't think about themselves, so it's so weird. I mean,
Yeah, because they're the victim too.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, bye.